So every time AI takes another leap forward, the conversation gets stuck on the same tired loop. Will AI replace us? Will jobs disappear? Will the robots take over? And quite frankly, it's the wrong debate because AI isn't replacing human skills. It's just making them more obvious. For years, businesses have built entire models around efficiency, productivity, standardization, streamlining, cutting costs. The human element, that's been treated like an afterthought, something nice to have, but not the priority. But when AI does take over the predictable, repeatable, data driven work, that afterthought suddenly becomes the only thing that really matters. Because here's what AI doesn't do: it doesn't build trust. AI can analyze employee sentiment, but it can't sit down with a frustrated team member and actually connect with them. It can't have the tough conversation that turns a fractured relationship into an unshakable partnership. Trust isn't transactional, it's relational. AI doesn't do relationships. It doesn't navigate nuance. AI processes data, but it doesn't understand context. It doesn't feel the tension in a room, read between the lines of an awkward conversation, or notice when someone's body language says more than their words. Humans operate in a world of grey areas, unspoken tensions, and layered meaning. AI can't untangle that complexity. It doesn't challenge assumptions in a way that shifts cultures. AI reinforces patterns, it doesn't break them. It's trained on what has been, not what could be. If you feed it biased data, it gives you biased outputs. It optimizes for the systems it's given, but real transformation comes from humans willing to question the system itself. It doesn't lead. AI can predict market trends, recommend decisions, even automate workflows. But leadership isn't about making technically correct decisions. It's about inspiring people to want to move in the same direction. It's about vision, emotional intelligence, intuition, and influence. AI might nudge behaviors, but it doesn't lead humans through uncertainty. It doesn't make people give a shit. AI doesn't create purpose. It doesn't drive meaning. It doesn't inspire people to care. And at the end of the day, that's what actually makes organizations work. Not better workflows, not to optimize efficiency, but people who care about what they're doing, why they're doing it, and who they're doing it with. So if the real concern is whether AI will replace us, the simple answer is it can't. Because the more that gets automated, the more valuable what's left becomes. And what's left, that's the human stuff. If organizations don't start taking that seriously, if they don't start investing in trust, nuance, leadership, and meaning, then AI isn't their problem. Their problem is that they've built an organization so mechanical, predictable, and lifeless that a machine could do it better. For years, businesses have been obsessed with efficiency. Make it faster, make it leaner, make it measurable. And anything that didn't fit neatly into that logic, things like trust, emotional intelligence, human connection, was treated as nice to have. Soft skills, people skills. The stuff that got a half-day workshop once a year before being shoved back into the drawer of things we should care about but don't. But then AI showed up, and suddenly, all those technical skills that businesses had spent years prioritizing, AI does them better. It analyzes performance trends in seconds, writes reports faster than any human. It optimizes logistics, detects patterns, and predicts workflow bottlenecks before they happen. It removes the friction. So what does that leave behind? It leaves the work that was never actually soft, the human element, the part of the business that can't be automated, quantified, or programmed into a machine learning model. The moment AI takes over the predictable, the relational becomes the only thing that actually matters. Because AI doesn't turn a conversation into trust. It doesn't sit down with a team in crisis and figure out what's really going on beneath the surface. It doesn't sense when morale is low, when someone's disengaged, when tension is building before it becomes a problem. AI follows rules. It doesn't navigate nuance. It doesn't lead. It can make decisions, but it can't make people want to follow. Leadership isn't about perfectly optimized workflows. It's about instinct, influence, and knowing when to break the rules because the situation demands it. AI enforces policies. Humans build culture. And belonging, AI has no concept of it. It can generate engagement reports, suggest retention strategies, even personalized career development plans. But belonging isn't built through systems. It's built through moments, through the way people feel when they walk into a room, through knowing they are seen, heard, and valued. Not because a dashboard says so, but because the people around them make it true. And that's the irony of AI. The more we automate, the more obvious it becomes what AI can't do, because efficiency doesn't make an organization thrive. The businesses that survive this shift won't be the ones that simply adopt AI faster. They'll be the ones that finally start treating human skills as the foundation of everything else. For years, businesses have talked about communication skills like they're some vague, catch-all category, something to slap onto a job description without ever really defining what it means. But in an AI-driven world, communication alone isn't enough. The real human advantage is something deeper. It's sense-making. The ability to look at a mess of information, complexity, and contradictions and pull together something that actually makes sense. AI processes information at a scale that no human could, but connecting the dots, deciding what actually matters, that's still our job. AI can recognize patterns, but it doesn't understand them. It spots trends, maps correlations, and predicts outcomes. But it doesn't know why something is significant. It doesn't instinctively grasp the cultural shifts, the human motivations, or the underlying power dynamics that turn data points into real-world impact. A human leader can look at the same information and see the story behind the numbers, the context AI misses, the outlier that isn't just statistical noise, but a sign of something bigger happening. It's the same with storytelling. AI can generate words, fill in templates, and produce technically coherent content. But creating meaning, that's a human act. Stories move people because they resonate, because they tap into shared experience, emotions, and perspectives. AI doesn't understand what it means to struggle, to doubt, to hope. It can mimic those ideas, but it doesn't feel them, and that difference is everything. When it comes to conflict, AI is rule-based. It can apply policies, flag violations, and track sentiment shifts in a workforce. But leading through complexity isn't about applying a rulebook. It's about understanding when the rulebook doesn't fit the situation. Conflict isn't just about policies. It's about power, trust, and deeply human dynamics. AI doesn't navigate that. It doesn't mediate. It doesn't sit in the discomfort of a tough conversation and find a way through it. And at the core of all this is curiosity. AI optimizes process, but it doesn't ask, should we even be doing this? It can improve efficiency, but it doesn't challenge assumptions. It doesn't rethink entire systems. It doesn't step back and question the foundation everything is built on. The ability to question, to rethink, to challenge the status quo instead of just refining it, that is what makes human intelligence irreplaceable. We don't win by outworking AI. We don't win by trying to be faster, more efficient, or more data-driven than a machine. We win by doing what AI literally can't do. We win by thinking beyond the patterns, by seeing meaning where AI just sees data, by leading through the grey areas AI will never understand. We win by being human, because the more AI advances, the more valuable that becomes. The real threat isn't that AI is coming for your job, it's that too many people are stuck in an outdated mindset, failing to adapt to what AI actually changes. The ones who will struggle in this shift aren't the ones AI replaces, it's the ones who refuse to evolve with it. The people who thrive in an AI-driven world aren't the ones trying to fight automation. They're the ones who understand how to make AI work for them. They don't see AI as a competitor, they see it as a tool, one that amplifies their thinking, accelerates their learning, and removes the grunt work that was never the real value of the role in the first place. It's not the tasks that make you valuable, it's how you think. It's how you make sense of the complexity, how you navigate ambiguity, how you solve problems that don't have clear answers. AI might be able to process information faster, but it doesn't make judgment calls. It doesn't have instincts. It doesn't have a gut feeling for what actually matters. And that's the difference between automation and leadership. This isn't about saving jobs, it's about elevating work. Organizations that get this right won't just be efficient. They'll be the place where people actually want to work, because they would have created environments where human skills aren't just tolerated, they're essential. They won't just automate for the sake of efficiency. They'll be designing workplaces where AI takes the robotic work and people focus on what actually moves the needle. Collaboration, decision-making, creativity, innovation. And that's the real future of work. Not AI replacing humans, humans finally realizing what makes them irreplaceable.